Hello, Watem here, and welcome back to some more Umineko When Seagulls Cry. Let's just continue.
お父様らしい幻想的なお話ですね。
Natsui spoke in a perfectly ordinary way. It was the sort of comment you'd expect from someone convinced that the thought of which existing was ridiculous, no more than another of Kinzo's ramblings. However, for some reason, that point of view didn't quite seem right to Kiria now. It did the opposite order, but oh well, same meaning. Just moments ago, she herself had seen the Golden Witch come in from the entrance hall and climb up the stairs. So, Natsui's words made it feel as though someone was trying to deny the existence of that person, or else make it seem like she was never there to begin with.
ごめんなさい。少し頭痛がする気がして、ちょっと休もうと思います。あら、そうですか？なら、良い頭痛薬がありますよ。用意させましょう。
Back to the witch, I guess? The hallway in front of Kinzo's study was filled with a scent of sweet poison, peculiar to that green liquor. Genji, who was completely used to it, did not grimace. And the Golden Witch didn't grimace either.
この中からどれほど出ぬのか。
すでに数年になるかと思います。
それほどまでに、わらわをカゴの鳥としたいか。
Oh.
哀れな。それを願うそなたが、今やカゴの鳥。書斎の亡霊ではないか。それに気づけぬとは哀れな男よ。
あなた様と再びお会いする日までは、おそらく文字通り亡霊となっても研究を続けられるでしょう。
愛か狂気か猛襲か。
Yes.
それも講じれば魔力となるか。悲しき魔術師よ。
The witch grasped the doorknob to the study. When she did, it was a sound like that of flesh burning and splitting open. It was the sound of a doorknob literally burning the witch's hand.
ベアトリーチェ様。
なんだこれは。魔除けか。あやつめ、こんなものに頼らなければおのがみも保てぬというのか。
その扉はベアトリーチェ様にはおつらいものと伺っております。私がお開けいたしましょうか。
いや、よい。あやつが勝てばわらわは永遠のカゴの鳥。あやつが負ければ愛に狂いすべてを失った哀れな魔術師の生涯が笑い草となって残るだけ。
So, I feel like there's three different kind of intentions going on here. Beatrice wanting to revive and be free. Kinzo wanting to revive Beatrice and keep her like a bird in a birdcage. And then three, we've also got Bachelor wanting to deny the witch's existence.
もはや金蔵もわらわさえもゲーム盤に並べられた駒に過ぎぬ。あとはルーレットの目が勝敗を分けるだけよ。
So I remember when I was editing, I think it was the 11th part, I asked the question, who is the house in this scenario? Well, now we've got the three colours in a way, if those are the three kind of intentions. I don't know, I wouldn't really call it factions because each one only has one person in it. But yeah, so you've got the three of them. Two of them are white and black spaces, and then which one's for house? I guess Kinzo's for house, maybe. Maybe battle is for house. Because originally it's Beatrice against Kinzo, like winning versus losing, but now it feels like maybe it's Beatrice against Bachelor.
ルーレットが目を見せるまで、わらわと金蔵が再会する必要はない。
Or maybe instead of being split into odds and evens, roulette's been split into like threes, I guess, maybe? Who knows? The witch looks at her hand, which is beginning to heal bit by bit, even though it had been horribly burned.
あるいはそのための魔除けなのか。なるほど。それもまた潔し。すべては今や金蔵のゲーム版の上よ。気に入ったぞ金蔵。そなたとのゲーム楽しませてもらうぞ。わらわに恋焦がれ、すべての生涯を投げ出したローマ術師の最後のギャンブル。誰か。
Oh?
失礼いたします。昼食をお持ちいたしました。入れ。失礼いたします。
So I guess this is the VIP room. After receiving approval, Canon enters the VIP room, pushing the serving cart for carried lunch. The servants called this room the Witch's VIP room. That was because Kinzo strictly ordered that it was always to be kept clean, so that it could be used at any time. Even so, guests would not be allowed into this room, no matter who they were. That's why, at some point, the servants had started calling it the VIP room, which was supposedly to be set aside only to welcome the special person Kinzo waited for. The witch from that portrait. And today, Canon realized that this was absolutely true. Oh. That kind of looks similar to the, like, tea party after the epilogue. I think there are some differences though. But like this chair of tables with the kind of extended section. When he entered the room, the blonde-haired witch was gazing out the window. Outside, the rain was no longer falling weakly. As she looked out of the beautiful rose garden, which had been tended to over several days for today's sake. As she saw the winds and rain ravage it, was she struck by some sentimental feelings? Canon was not able to tell anything more from her back, which faced him.
お食事の用意をさせていただきます。ベアトリーチェ様。
Canon went out of his way to call out the witch's name, hoping that she'd turn around. He wanted to know. He wanted to know if the witch who tempted him and Shannon in the past had really appeared again. When he did, the witch whose name he had been called laughed, her back still facing him. Holding back her voice, she laughed. Canon was startled. It was almost as though she had read his mind, and knew that he called out to her, hoping to make her turn around.
良い匂いだな。どうやらクラウスは良い料理人を入れたと見える。はい、近年入ったゴーダという料理人です。料理の腕が良きことは何にも勝るものよ。美食は人の世で生きる快楽の山中をなす。千年を飽きぬにはこれを欠かさぬが秘訣よ。
Why doesn't she know about Goda, though? Because she played around with Shannon and stuff previously about people seeing her. So why doesn't she know about Goda? Canon and Witch's eyes met. Then she grinned. Without a doubt. Certainly. This was clearly the witch from that day, Beatrice. The witch that no one but she and Shannon could see in the past finally held a form, and had arrived openly as a guest through the entrance hall.
ベアトニーチェ様久しぶりよの家具のカノンお久しぶりでございます
Canon tried to remember to be polite to this guest for the time being. With a visit of a suspicious witch made the dark clouds start to enshroud his heart, especially considering that today was a family conference.
何をしに現れたのかと気が気でならぬと見えるそうであろう
Canon didn't force an answer. This witch probably reads minds, so it's pointless to go to the trouble of saying it out loud. Of course, she could read even his inner resistance. So the witch giggled at Canon's childish defiance.
金蔵との最後の約束を果たしに来た親方様との最後の約束わらわは金蔵に山をなす黄金を貸し付けたそれを金蔵が放棄するときわらわは利子をつけて返却を受けることになっておる今宵それをもらい受けに来た僕には何の話か分かりません
However, uncertainty began to gather in his heart. Whatever this witch had to say, it couldn't be anything good.
違いない魔女の話にろくなものはないぞそなたは正しいされど魔女とハサミは使いようだソロモン王のように偉業を成し遂げる者も時にはおる最も多くの場合は童話が語るようにろくな目には合わんがなしかし金蔵も食えぬわらわの利子の取り立てすらも自らの儀式に取り込みおったわらわをも超えるとてつもない大魔術師かさもなければ狂気に取りつかれたただの知れ者か面白い実に面白い
Canon couldn't guess what the witch was muttering and laughing about. All he knew was that anything that made the switch laugh must have the exact opposite meaning for everyone else. And in the back of his mind, the horrifying words for which had spat at him in the past began to resurface. What? Did you think I'd lend you my power and ask for nothing in exchange? I'll gladly assist a pair in love. And in exchange, I'll enjoy watching the cruel fate they'll eventually meet. I've never come across a better show, not over the course of 1,000 years.
まさかお前は懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川黄金鏡を目指す者よこれを下りて鍵を探せ
The witch suddenly began to recite a bizarre poem. It was something he remembered hearing.
それはまさか魔女の碑文
There was no mistake. It was the epitaph that accompanied the portrait of the witch Kinzo had put on display. Relatives had guessed that it referred to the location of the hidden gold, but no one knew what it meant for sure. The witch suddenly began reciting that epitaph.
カノン、家具である貴様なら金蔵から聞いていよう。すべてを黄金鏡へ返す日がやってきたのだ。
Not tomorrow?
喜ぶがいい。お前の恥辱にまみれた家具の日々がようやく終わる時がやってきたのだ。お前はそれをずっと望んできたはず。自らに存在価値を持たぬ家具にとってただ存在するだけの日々は苦痛に他ならない。魂ある者にとってうつしおは固執すべきものだが、亡き者にとってうつしおは苦害でしかないからのう。
Complicated expressions flitted across Cannon's face. This was the day of release that Cannon had been looking for. Or forward to, rather. However, the coming of this day had been mercilessly sudden. And, for some reason, he didn't like the hateful tone used by the Switch as she informed him of the coming of this long-awaited day of rest. Cannon couldn't even decide what emotion he should be feeling.
なぜに喜ばぬ？それともうつしおに何かの未練があるというのか？家具の分際で。
未練などない。僕は家具だから。
貴様は実に模範的な家具だな。よいよい。しかし何の未練もないとはつくづく面白みのない。
未練こそがお前の快楽だというのか。
その通り。1000年も生きると大抵の魔女は生き飽きる。わらわは退屈から逃れるために人間たちの運命にブランデーや果実を練り込みケーキのように焼き上げるのだ。オーブンの中で苛烈な運命に踊る人間たちのなんと面白きこと。わらわはこの方面にかけてはちと知られていてな。わらわの料理の腕を見に、時には遠方から珍客が見物に来ることすらあるくらいよ。
Okay, that's what she means. Maybe.
言っても家具ごときには理解できぬか。
Like how Berncaster was watching, for example. Cannon couldn't understand what the witch was saying. However, he fully realized that this was a terrifying being who treated the fate of humans as a show, enjoying it whenever some harm befell them. However, furniture has no soul or life, much less a fate. Pitiful furniture does nothing but serve until the day they're released from the real world. To furniture like that, the witch, who had come to release them from everything, was a being to be received with overflowing affection. Even though the day Cannon should have been waiting for impatiently had come, he was confused by his own inability to accept it easily. Why was that? The face of Shannon, the person who he loved as a sister, raced through his mind. And for some reason, Jessica's face did too. Cannon bit his lower lip hard enough that it hurt. Thinking about Jessica like that was something furniture must never do. Even though he thought he'd known that, even though he'd complained about Shannon's relationship, why was it that Jessica rose into his mind at a time like this? He felt a little shameful at his own naivety. And to forget about Jessica, he turns his thoughts to Shannon. Shannon is also furniture. She has no reason to rejoice at the coming of the day when all will return to nothingness. But Shannon, through her relationship with George, has experienced an emotion forbidden to furniture. Though she isn't qualified to be bonded with him, she's still trapped in a dream that she isn't allowed to have. Will Shannon be able to joyfully accept this development? No, she won't. Shannon still has lingering regrets. Those will probably become a great source of pain and torture for her. And those lingering regrets are planted by none other than this witch. Why? Because that would be more interesting. Nothing more.
シャノンは待ちわびていたはずの日に知ってはならない感情を持ち、とても辛い思いを強いられるだろう。僕たち家具を解放する日を手土産に訪れてくれたあなたに感謝する。そしてシャノンにその日を受け入れがたくしたお前を憎む。
お前もシャノン同様に未練に苦しませてやりたかったぞ。しかしお前は愚直に家具であり続け、わらわに籠絡されることもなかった。しかしシャノンを慕いすぎたようだな。シャノンの未練がそなたの未練となる。
So she succeeded in the end anyway.
それはわらわへの憎悪へと変わるのか？わらわを殺したくば殺してみるがよい。金蔵の家具ならばその程度の力は持っていよう。しかしわらわを殺せば家具どもに安息の日は永遠に訪れぬぞ。そなたにそれが耐えられるのか？わらわによる解放を本当に拒むことができるのか？ひざまずけ。
何を？
ひざまずき、わらわの靴に口づけをするがよい。さもなくばわらわはこの場を立ち去ろうぞ。帰りて永遠に姿を現さぬ。のうカノン、そなたはそれに耐えられるのか？黄金鏡の扉が開かれればそなたの苦難に満ちた家具の生は終わろう。望むならば人間としての生を与えてもよい。さすればもはやジェシカとは対等。貴様も知りたいはずだ。恋の味が隠そうとも知っておるぞ。甘き恋の沼にて溺れるシャノンを見てそなたは羨ましがっている。恋の味を知りたくてうずうずしておるのよ。
やめろやめろ。僕を再び籠絡するつもりか？僕はお前を楽しませるためのおもちゃになり果てたりしない。
At this point, no matter what you do, you'll be a toy for her amusement.
ほう、ならばシャノンで満足するとしよう。まいた種はそなただけではないのでな。時には実を結ばぬ果実もある。鍵を手にせし者は以下に従いて黄金鏡へ旅立つべし。第一の番に鍵の選びし6人を生贄に捧げよ。第二の番に残されし者は寄り添う2人を引き裂け。
The witch recited the epitaph again. It was so sudden and diverged so strongly from the current topic. However, that challenging smile made it seem almost as though she was using that epitaph as a threat against Cannon.
わからぬか。この碑文の儀式を成し遂げるには、第二の晩に寄り添う二人を生贄に捧げねばならぬ。寄り添う二人は誰でもよい。夫婦でもよいし、恋人同士でもよい。誰を選ぶかは儀式のルールにのっとり、わらわが気まぐれに決めてよいことになっている。今のシャノンなら、これほどふさわしい第二の番の生贄もないとは思わぬか？
Yep. However, that got ruined the first time around because she was selected as one of the 6.
卑劣な。
Cannon realized something. Until today, he thought he'd given up everything else and lived as furniture, acting like furniture. But in reality, that wasn't true. He loved Shannon too dearly. Therefore, when Shannon was in pain, Cannon shared in that. If only Shannon had continued to live as furniture, indifferently like Cannon, without any regrets in this world, he wouldn't have had to be in so much pain. The witch planned to toy with Shannon, who had known the taste of love, no, whom she had taught the taste of love, as she killed her. She wouldn't be welcomed into the Golden Land and granted a compassionate release. Instead, if the witch had her way, she'd be used as a sacrifice, subjected to the utmost of torture and pain, and forcibly turned into a human foundation for this evil ceremony. And this witch would probably make Shannon meet this horrible fate, for no reason other than it was amusing to her. Furthermore, she was threatening to do this so that she could make Cannon, who had never submitted to the witch, finally give in. It was that simple. In the end, though he tried to resist the witch and avoid pleasing her, he'd only made things more amusing for her. After all, he was furniture. No, a toy. Though nothing but toys meant only to distract her from her boredom.
どうするカノン？ひざまずけばシャノンを生贄に選ぶことを控えんこともないぞ。お前のような玩具を一度屈服させてみたかった。
Without even a fragment of elegance, the witch sneered at Cannon and laughed indecently. That's right, she'd predicted Cannon's submission, even before he'd made that decision himself. Cannon chose to get down on both knees in front of the witch. It didn't matter what happened to himself. However, one thing he couldn't bear to see was Shannon, who had given him his only reason to live during his days as furniture, being toyed with like this. That was why kissing the shoes of the witch was an easy oath for Cannon to make. And his quivering lips actually touched the witch's shoe. Beatrice let a look of ecstasy rise to her face, then laughed with a voice filled to bursting. At that moment, the witch, who had grown bored of life after 1,000 years, was completely filled with the evil emotion that she lived for. When lunch ended, the relatives moved to the parlour. I can do words. Things remaining. Yeah. So that was some interesting developments there. Actually change your camera? No. Yeah, also another thing that's different, a bit late for this, but another thing that's different from the first episode, how George, I think, said that Jessica probably didn't realise that she liked Canon. However, very much seemed to suggest that she did realise. In any case, I will end it there and leave this new section for next time. I hope you've all enjoyed. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments, and until next time, see ya.